Why the Romans built London. London began as a Roman outpost. It was on the edges of the empire, but it soon grew into a center of Roman might. It all began around 2,000 years ago. The River Thames was a lot wider in those days. Sprawling mudflats were punctuated by little gravel islands. The Romans used them to build the first pontoon bridge. Close by the Thames was the Walbrook River. Today, it's covered by the city of London. On both sides of the rivers were thick woods. They were interspersed with sporadic farmsteads. One of these farmsteads was likely called Londinium. This Celtic name transformed into the Latin Londinium. The city was founded sometime in the early 40s AD. That was when Emperor Claudius arrived in Britain. His army headed north to receive the surrenders of British chiefs. This officially brought the initial invasion of Britain to a close. The Romans needed a supply base in their rear. London made perfect logistical sense. Boats sailing from the continent could reach it with ease. They would bring supplies for the Roman army. So London rapidly developed into a mercantile hub. Traders were drawn there by business opportunities. Within a year of the Claudian invasion, Londinium had emerged. It continued to grow rapidly over the following decade. Around this time, the Romans built the first permanent bridge across the Thames. It hasn't survived, but it was near today's London Bridge. Archaeologists have uncovered many artifacts from that era. Among them is a deed of sale recorded on a tablet. It's dated January 8, 57. This fragment is the earliest known piece of writing from London. By the end of the 50s, London had a population of 10,000. It was by far the largest settlement in Britain. Indeed, it was twice the size of Camulodunum. That city, now called Chester, was the Roman capital of Britain. Chief administrators based themselves in London, but in 60 AD, disaster struck. The Iceni queen Boudica launched a massive revolt. Her warriors first targeted Camulodunum. They torched the provincial capital. They devastated part of the Roman 9th Legion. Then Boudica marched on Londinium. The city lacked adequate defenses. Roman governor Suetonius Paulinus chose to abandon it. Boudica's warriors torched the city unopposed. They left Londinium a smoldering ruin, but Boudica's revolt ultimately failed within months. The Romans rebuilt Londinium, now making it capital. New timber buildings were erected on top of the debris. Soldiers built a fort north of the Thames on modern-day Fenchurch Street. A great new waterfront was constructed. Within 2 years of Boudica's revolt, the city was back in business. In the early 70s, the first amphitheater was built. Grand public bathhouses, a basilica, a forum, and a governor's palace followed. London continued to grow until the late 2nd century. Parts of these buildings have been unearthed, but there's almost nothing remaining of Londinium above ground. In the late 3rd century, Londinium became a target for Saxon pirates. They raided it so often that a new riverside wall was built. But the Roman Empire itself was falling apart. In 410, the Roman occupation of Britannia came to an end. Londinium went into rapid decline. By the end of the 5th century, it was practically abandoned.